Students of class 9, today I'll teach you one beautiful poem written by W.B. Yeats. William Butler Yeats is a famous poet. He has written one poem. What is the name of the poem? The Lake Isle of Innisfree. What is the meaning of Isle? Isle means island. Innisfree is a place. So he has written this poem about a lake. Which lake is? Inside the lake there is an island. What is the island? Innisfree. So what is the content of the poem? You just see what it says in the first line. I will arise and go now. He wants to get up from the city life and go to Innisfree. He does not want to live in the life of city. City life is very busy life, chaotic life, confusion life, very self-centered life. That is the life he was leading in the town, city, London. The city London is lifeless city. He does not wants to live there. He wants to go from there. And where he wants to go? He wants to go to an isolated place where people are not there. Only nature is there. So he wants to live inside the one island. Where is the place? The place is Innisfree. Okay. So he has already decided that he wants to leave the place where he is living, that is the city, London. And what he wants to do there after going, he wants to build one small cabin. Small cabin he wants to build there. In that cabin, what he wants to make? That cabin he wants to make of clay and wattles. That is the stick, branches, and the mud, clay. So the cabin will be made of these material, not with the bricks and the cements and the stones. He does not want to live in that kind of house. He wants to live in an isolated place, lonely place where people are not there. He can get some peace. He wants to live in the nature. That's why he has decided that he will leave the city life of London and he will go to an isolated place. What is the place? Innisfree. Okay, Innisfree wants to go and he will build one small cabin, not big house, small cabin. That cabin will be made of clay and wattles, sticks and the branches. Have you understood these two lines? Now see what he wants to have there. 9 bean rows I'll have there. He wants to grow some vegetable. What is the vegetable? Beans. A hive for the honeybee. He wants to keep some hive also so that honeybees will come. Honeybees will come and live in the hive and he will listen the buzzing sound of the bees. Means he wants to have complete natural surroundings. One small cabin made of wattles and clay, and he wants to grow some vegetables like beans, and he wants to have beehive where lot of bees will be coming and taking shelter, and he will be listening the buzzing sound of the bees. Understood? And what else he wants to have? Live alone in the big loud glade. He wants to live alone. He does not want to live with anyone. Alone he wants to live because he is fed up, he is tired, he is completely confused in the city life of London. That's why he wants to live alone in an isolated place. I shall have some peace there. He has clarified why he wants to go there, because he feels he will get some peace. For peace comes dropping slow. From where? Dropping from the veils in the morning. Veil means parda. It is the cover. So morning, when the sun arises, that time the darkness of the night dispels. Darkness is what? It is like the veil. It is like the curtain by which your vision is closed. You cannot see the distance. You cannot see anything. In the darkness also you cannot see anything. So that's why he compared the darkness of the night is just like the veils. Okay. And the veils will be removed early morning when sun will rise. And what you can hear? He can hear the sound of crickets. What is cricket? These are the insects, crickets. So he wants to hear the sound of songs of cricket. Cricket is the small insects. Their sound, he feels it is like the songs. So what are the sounds the poet is going to hear so far? The songs of the cricket, even the buzzing of the bees in the bee-glade hive. In the midnight, so early morning, what he says? So morning, veils will be removed, veils of the darkness will be removed, and he can see the sunlight. He can hear the songs of the cricket, and their midnight all glimmer. It is the shining, and noontime. Noon is a purple glow because sun will be arising on the head, so the color of the noon will be purple. Different kinds of color of the day, early morning, noontime, evening time, because of the places, because of the shining of the suns. These all scenario changes. Early morning scenery is different, noontime scenery is different because that is the full time. The moon that is the full time. The sun is above the head. So that's why it is purple glow. Evening full of linnet swing. What is linnet? Evening time he can hear the flapping sounds of the linnets. Linnets are the birds, small birds. So these birds will be flapping their wings and he can hear the sounds of the linnets also. So what are the sounds you could hear so far? Flapping of the linnets, buzzing of the bees, and song of the crickets. These are the sounds he could hear. So once again he says, see here, he has started in the first line, I'll arise and go now. Again in the third stanza he says, I'll arise and go now. That means why he has repeated the line? He has repeated the line only because to show his determination, that he has decided he is no more going to live the life of city. He will go to isolated place and live alone and have a peaceful life. And what is written? I'll go and arise. Why he wants to go? He has clarified once again. For always, night and day, I hear the lake water lapping with low sounds of the shore. This is one more sound. So when you are standing near the shore of a sea or a lake, what happens? Because of the waves of the water, it will make some lapping sound, which will be touching the shore and making some sound. The sounds he is calling lapping sound. So this sound also he wants to like to hear. What is the sound? Lapping sound of the waves of the lake, which will be striking the shore and making the sound. While I'll stand on the roadway or on the pavement grey, what he says, this is the contrast life. So far he was talking about Innisfree. Now he is talking about the lifelessness of the city life. While I stand on the roadways or on the pavement grey, this is very significant word. What is the word? Pavement is grey. Pavement means footpath. Is the grey. What is the grey? Grey is the color of lifelessness. So when he will be standing in the pavement, footpath, it is the color grey color. Grey color means is the lifelessness. There is no life. Green color is the full of life. But the color of the pavement is grey because he does not want to live there. He does not get peace there. He does not like this place. That's why he feels the color of the pavement is grey, lifeless. Okay. I hear it in the deep heart's core. So when he feels, when I'll come back, again when I'll start living in the city life, when I'll be walking on the footpath, when I'll be walking on the pavement, even though it is lifeless, those sceneries will not give me pleasure in the city life. Those sceneries or the kind of life I'm going to have in the city, in London particularly, is not going to give me happiness. So how I am going to get relieved? I'll get the relief from the memory which I have collected, which I have stored in my memory while my stay in my Innisfree. So when he was in the Innisfree, these things he will store in his memory, and when he will feel the life is very boring in the city, he will hear those memories, he will hear those sounds which have already heard it from the deep heart's core. In the core of the heart, he has already stored. Understood? So these things he will hear in the deep heart's core. In the core of the heart, he has already stored. What he has stored? The pleasurable moment, the happiness, the enjoyable moment he has seen in the life of Innisfree. This life will be giving him the inspiration. This kind of memory will give him the source of energy to live in a lifeless condition in city life, which is full of chaos, confusion, and selfish life, which he does not want to live. But he cannot stay there in the Innisfree for a longer time. He has to come back. Only that memory will help him to live in a happy state. Understood this poem? This is a beautiful poem. Go through the video. You will understand it. Read once. Okay.